the heroic sheriff rallies his citizens in the wildest finish the West has ever seen, or the movies have ever shown.
Ow! Oh, ow! Have you ever seen such cruelty?
Hey man, welcome back to my place for the weekend binge. I know, I'm not in the basement anymore. Finally was able to make it out of my parents' basement. Growth, I'm an adult now, but I'm still doing the same binge that we do every week. So basically, you know, we're here. I see what movies are coming out in theaters and I make a nice little list of movies that we can binge off Amazon or Netflix. So up this week, we got The Sisters Brothers.
Hello, Ms. Lady.
Okay, there's only one.
Shut your mouth.
I needed someone
Wait,
to
shut your
work
mouth. Shut your mouth.
I'm sorry, what did
You're
you
just coming off stupid.
No. Not that movie, not Step Brothers. I mean, it is a classic, but I said The Sisters Brothers. Let's take a look at the trailer.
All right. You're not gonna like what comes next. Hoping you're safe.
No, never.
Sometimes I feel I've got to run away.
Do you realize that our father was stark raving mad and we got his foul blood?
Our father drank, Charlie.
Touche.
Okay, so it looks like some weird Western with two brothers that are both last name sister. That doesn't really make any sense, but okay, I'm down. And it looks like they're trying to find someone. Oh shit, is that Riz Ahmed in a Western? Fuck yeah. Now, granted, I'm not the biggest fan of Westerns, but that one looks kind of odd, which are my favorite kind of Westerns. The weirder, the better. So for this week, I'm thinking we look at some other weird Westerns, starting off with one of the weirdest I've ever seen, Dead Man, starring Johnny fucking Depp himself. Let's take a look. There's something so destitute about this movie. It's dark, dreary, and oh look, that guy's getting head in the middle of the street. Dead Man follows Johnny Depp as a man named Blake, whom after being shot, employs the help of a Native American named Nobody to help him survive his ordeal.
What name were you given at birth, stupid white man?
Blake. William Blake.
Is this a lie? Or a white man's trick?
No, I'm William Blake.
Then you are a dead man.
Eventually, Blake begins to succumb to his injuries, but not before Nobody is able to get him to a Native American camp that allows Blake to be buried by canoe. Wow, this is like some psychedelic Western that's equal parts bizarre and actually pretty woke.
I tried to cut it out, but it's too deep inside. Stupid fucking white man.
I mean, it's no wonder that this movie is as batshit as it is. It's directed by Jim Jarmusch, who's directed some other weird movies, like this one and this one. I mean, that squishy head scene, ugh. All right, so we go from the black and white, old school Western to kind of a new Western where they see the Wild West as a theme park. Westworld, AKA That Cold Stare. You may have heard of the author whom this TV show and movie were based on. You know, he has a penchant for killer theme parks.
Boy, do I hate being right all the time.
Jurassic Park's Michael Crichton. Westworld is about a different kind of theme park though. One where you can experience the Wild West with all the fucking, killing, and general debauchery one would enjoy in such a setting, just with really creepy robots whose eyes glow white. But of course, it would not be a Crichton story if all hell doesn't break loose at some point in the story, which it does. Starring Josh Brolin and Barbra Streisand's daddy, Westworld is definitely for fans of westerns and sci-fi, adeptly blending both genres together into an eerily prescient movie about the future and how we're going to interact with machines. Spoiler alert, there's going to be a lot of fucking.
I feel funny.
Why?
Whew, man, that shit is crazy. You know this is actually written and directed by Michael Crichton, which is weird because for the most part, people just kind of do adaptations of his books, but looks like he actually did this one, which is maybe why it wasn't as famous as his other ones. Are you expecting anybody?
Gotta do the binge in there though.
Yes, Reek.
Brother Reek is in the house.
Yes, I know. You were literally living behind my couch all last week.
Yeah, it's pretty comfortable. Except for, you know, you got like a real rat infestation thing going on under the couch.
You know, you probably shouldn't be eating back there as much as you do.
Yeah, they got walls. Anywho, what we getting into today?
Weird Westerns.
Ah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one is Westworld.
The TV show?
Oh man, look at this old white man. Does he look like he's from 2018?
That doesn't look like anything to me.
I know you haven't even seen the TV show.
I haven't, no. I have not.
It's all good, it's all good. All right, anyways, next up.
What we got? We got Blazing Saddles on the list?
I was literally about to say it's your favorite movie.
Ah, yes it is!
How do you have such good timing? It's kind of disturbing. All right, let's get to this.
Because I'm a creeper.
Now come on, boys. Where's your spirit? I don't hear no singing. When you were slaves, you sang like birds. Come on, how about a good old work song?
Yeah. Blazing Saddles, I can't believe Richard Pryor wasn't in this movie. It's one of the most classic westerns ever put on screen, brought to us by none other than Mel Brooks himself.
I've got to talk to you. Come here. Have you gone berserk? Can't you see that that man is a nit?
Wait, what? Richard Pryor wasn't in this? I thought that was Richard Pryor.
Nah, bruh. Though he did have a pretty significant hand in making this movie. He co-wrote it.
I see. All right, it says here on Wiki that the character Pryor was going to play ended up being played by Cleavon Little, who plays a black dude named Sheriff Bart that becomes a newly minted sheriff of a western town. Apparently, the studio didn't want to back Pryor in the role because of cocaine and white women.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. All right, so folks in town are definitely not liking this situation. White folks essentially losing their damn mind, making Sheriff Bart do things like this.
Robert, I swear I'll blow this head all over this town. Oh, Lordy Lord, he's desperate. Do what he say. Do what he say.
Ah, but once he gets the support of the local population,
he was able to integrate smoothly into the town. I love this fucking movie.
I always shed a tear at that last scene. Like, I don't cry at the end of Titanic, but Blazing Saddles, so good.
It's not even because it's just sad. It's because it's a thing of beauty.
It's brilliant.
It's
yeah.
like, how are you gonna have a whole fight scene in the studio, but
Going
then
through
end
all
it,
the movie sets though.
but
It's
then
like the
end
big
it in
ballroom
a car.
dances.
They're just like, how do
in
we
the Midwest, in the middle of a Western film.
What do you think was the most subversive part of this movie? Because there's a ton of shit that was way ahead of its time.
I think the whole idea of what they were doing with race. I think like the idea that like you had this extremely racist town, but all the racists were idiots, and the brother was able to pick up on that.
Yeah.
I think because at that time, I think that they had ideas about like people were actually very racist, and it was very well accepted at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So to have somebody who was just kind of like not racist in terms of kind of like someone who understood racism enough to be like, this is how it would work, and this is how smart this brother would be to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, and like we talked about, you know, having Richard Pryor in there, you know, that was probably one of the most genius moves that Mel did to even be able to get this movie done, because he knows that he can't do this through his voice.
Yeah.
Which is what's fascinating, and that's what I think. You know, even though this is an old movie and some people, you know, nowadays might look and like, oh, this is so racist, and it does have its moments here and there that are kind of problematic. I still think that it lasts the test of time because it really calls out a lot of this stuff. A lot of stuff that would make people uncomfortable. It's very putting it at the forefront.
But it's really funny. Like
but
that
it's
scene
funny.
when he's like, if you take one step closer, this nigga's gonna get it.
Or when he's like, when Mel Brooks was like walking over with Cleavon and he's like, yeah, well, did you hear that the sheriff's a nit? And he looks right over. I mean, it's like, it's simple humor, but it works. It works so well.
It's so good.
What
you got for the brothers?
Okay, all right. So, considering that we're doing weird westerns,
that's right.
I thought that we should eat like we're in the Wild West. So,
That sounds like a lot of pork, brother.
Well, considering that I don't eat a lot of pork, it's definitely not a lot of pork. So, I didn't know you were coming, but considering that I love fried pickles and I know that you don't really eat red meat.
Nah, brother.
Here you go, brother.
Yeah.
All right. So for myself, considering that I do eat lots of red meat.
Oh shit! Are those human ribs?
No, human. Anyways.
What's in this sauce? Is that?
Are you look? Take a look at this. This is 100% beef ribs.
Can you look at this sauce? And can somebody tell me if that's meat in the sauce?
Don't worry about it. You're getting free foods.
Just don't want to get sick.
It's okay. It's all right. You got anything to contribute?
Oh, I do.
What you got? You're getting free food. You're getting some binges. Oh.
The brothers.
Okay.
Came with some cannabis treats.
Okay.
All right.
I will say this. All is forgiven, brother.
And you know this, man.
All right, let's go to the next movie. The Good, the Bad, and the Weird. It's in the title. This film is straight out of Korea and is very much an homage to Sergio Leone's famous western, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
The good. The bad. The ugly.
Only done through a very specific and unique perspective. What would the Wild West look like in Korea? The film follows a group of men in Old West Manchuria. The good, the bad, and the weird. 3 dudes hell-bent on finding a treasure map, having to avoid Japanese and Manchurian soldiers, leading us to one of the longest Mexican, or should I say South Korean standoffs ever put on screen. Chock full of severed limbs and over-the-top violence and body count, The Good, the Bad, and the Weird fully lives up to its title, and even had to have a more toned-down ending in Korea because it was just that insane. Spoiler alert, I'm not going to tell you the ending. That's gotta be the longest Mexican standoff I've ever seen put on film. That was ridiculous.
Bruh.
What?
I'm still just like, the fuck?
That shit was legit
Yo.
like 10 minutes. They made sure that we had all the cuts to their head, to their hands, to their feet. The most dramatic.
But you know what? You would have thought that it being that long, it would have been a lot of shooting. No, it was just like, just taking every moment and stretching it out like silly putty.
Yeah. Well, what I like about it is I could tell that the filmmaker loves Westerns. And he probably always wanted to do his own Mexican standoff.
Right.
And so he's like, all right, so I'm just going to do all the crazy frills. I'm going to have them literally shoot each other like 8 times each. But they're only going to hit each other in the arm, which is why they survive. And they're able to continue going.
No, but legit, I'm watching like, yo, one dude literally loses all his ammo, reloads, and no one shoots him in the head while he's doing it.
Yeah, the whole time, they're like, why don't you just shoot him in the head?
Like, is he gonna shoot us? Yes, that's like going for another gun.
Oh, man. All right, so that's all the weird Westerns that I could do. I got 4. I usually do 5, but I couldn't really think of a...
Bruh.
What?
You couldn't think of a 5th one?
No, what else is there?
3 Amigos.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
The original Migos.
The original Migos. But I'm on that bag.
Ha! All right, pull it up. All right, let's get.
Yo,
let's
how
get-
lit would it be if there was a Migos version of the Three Amigos song?
How do you know that that doesn't exist? Hey.
Internet.
All right, let's get to this one. Pull it up. Pull it up.
The Three Amigos is one of the best movies about the West because of how bonkers it is. We follow three actors who play a fictional group, the Three Amigos, played by Gilda's first SNL boyfriend, Steve Martin, Gilda's most annoying SNL boyfriend, Chevy Chase, and her first celebrity boyfriend, Martin Short, who, after being fired, found a letter written by a little girl asking for the help of the Three Amigos in a small town in Mexico.
100,000 pesos to come to Santa Poco, put on show stop.
What follows is hilarity on many levels, with these three idiots getting in all kinds of shenanigans. It's considered by all the realists to be a work of comedic genius. We have classic scenes like this.
We are honored to have you in our home.
Do you have anything besides Mexican food?
Oh, how are we gonna forget about this?
I'm Lucky Dave. I'm Ned Niederlander. I'm Dusty Bottoms. So together we're the Three Amigos.
Though, if you look at the movie now, it's kind of vaguely just a tiny bit racist. Are we not gonna talk about the fact that we have three white dudes playing Latinos in this movie? Also, why is the small Mexican town portrayed as a haven for drunkards and disheveled banditos with disturbing ideas about sexual consent?
Okay, movie's definitely a classic, but
it's definitely a little racist.
I mean, like, can you imagine this movie with everything that it is being made in 2018 with the three white dudes? There's not too many commentary about the fact that they are three white dudes playing three Latinos. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's similar vibes, to Blazing Saddles.
No, it's different.
Why?
Because with Blazing Saddles, you could tell it's obviously commentary about racism.
Yeah.
With this, like they used to show this movie on like Nick at Night back in the 90s and stuff like that. So, because it was just a straight up like roast. It was just like a.
It's just straight comedy.
It was just straight comedy.
There's
without,
nothing deeper.
Yeah, without any really, it wasn't addressing any of the racial contexts of like three white guys pretending to be Latin.
Exactly. I mean, and granted, like they're three silent film era actors, so it's like, okay, maybe it's somewhat authentic that you got three white dudes from back then playing Latinos, but the fact that there's really, like I said, there's no commentary about it. It's just kind of like, it's happened, it's left there.
It's whiteface.
And I guess the fact that they're like kind of idiots, and maybe they think it makes it okay, but.
But you know what? I don't think they even thought about it. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
I think
no,
at
you're
this
right.
point,
Yeah.
I think that was the thing about like.
They're like, is it a
Hollywood
funny
at this
concept?
point.
Is it a funny concept? Well, we can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even like.
That's true.
Hollywood probably just started addressing these issues a few years ago. Because remember, Don't Mess with the Zohan?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck was Adam Sandler playing?
Yeah,
like,
that whole thing.
Wasn't he
yeah.
supposed to be like a Middle Eastern like?
He was like some Israeli dude, but even then he was Israeli, but he was playing an Arab.
Yeah,
basically.
it's like you got Don't Mess with the Zohan. Borat is still kind of like it's a great film, but it's also like very, very, very touchy, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I said very, very.
So you can't even help it.
I can't help it. See, because the thing is, these movies have raised us, so it's like, and that was like a big thing I think in this comedy in general, where it's just kind of like it was okay to make fun of these cultures until like people started calling them out.
And then be like, it's actually not funny because a lot of these times, you know, they're being made fun of and they don't have anybody to kind of defend them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you want to continue the binge, here's a few more weird westerns that you can continue to watch. Bone Tomahawk.
We won't rescue anybody.
Don't be scared. I am a friend.
You aren't.
Damn you!
You had no cause. If you want to question my morals, do it later.
No Country for Old Men.
Call it. Call it.
And Serenity.
Do you know that girl?
I really don't. It's worse than you know.
And here's where you can find all the movies that I've mentioned on the list. All right, that's it. A lot of weird westerns. I'm actually kind of hungry. I just want to kind of finish eating up my ribs, so I'll see you later.
Doses.
Yeah, I'll see you later too. Wait. Did he just jump behind my... I'll take care of this. I'll see you later.